What if Phineas and Ferb never really existed? Not in the way we thought, anyway. What if all those inventions, those insane summer adventures, and even Perry the platypus were never real at all? What if they were the creation of someone desperately trying to escape reality? There's a theory, a dark one, and once you hear it, you might never see the show the same way again. It starts with Candace Flynn, the older sister, the one always trying to bust her brothers, the one no one ever listens to. But what if she's not just overreacting? What if she's broken? The theory says that Candace had a younger brother named Phineas. He was smart, curious, kind. But he was also different. And kids can be cruel. Phineas was bullied, constantly, called names, pushed around, treated like a joke. Then one day, it went too far. A punch, a hit to the head. And just like that, he was gone. Candace couldn't handle it. The grief shattered her. So her mind did what it had to. It built a world where Phineas never died. In her imagination, he was still alive. Still building things. Still happy. And her stepbrother Ferb was right there beside him. But Ferb wasn't like that in real life. According to the theory, Ferb has a disability. He doesn't talk much. He can't really do the things Candace imagines. So she creates a version of him who can. One who builds rockets and robots and interdimensional portals. And together, in her mind, Phineas and Ferb become unstoppable. In this world, even the family pet becomes something bigger. A secret agent. A hero. Perry the platypus, fighting evil every day. Because if everything around you is falling apart, wouldn't you imagine something better? That's what Candace does. But the real world doesn't follow along. Her mom never sees the inventions, the chaos, the madness. Because there's nothing there. It's just a backyard. The reason Linda always brushes Candace off isn't because she's blind to it. It's because none of it is real. And the more Candace insists, the more unhinged she seems. But it gets deeper. There's another part of the theory. The villain. Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. What if he's not a villain at all? What if Doofenshmirtz is Candace's real-life therapist? She sees him twice a week, trying to help her cope with everything she's lost. But in her fractured imagination, he becomes the bad guy. The mad scientist. The one trying to take away everything she's created. It's easier to fight a villain than face the truth. But therapy isn't cheap. And her mom, already struggling, gets desperate. She starts writing down everything Candace says. The stories. The inventions. The strange characters and wild adventures. She sends them to Disney. And somehow, it works. The show gets picked up. Phineas and Ferb becomes a hit. And the world falls in love with the stories that were born from Candace's pain. Still think this is just a reach? In Season 2, Episode 33, there's an episode called Wizard of Oz. Candace imagines herself in a fantasy world based on the Wizard of Oz. And the villain. The Wicked Witch. It's Doofenshmirtz. It's one of the few times Candace is the main character in a dream. And she casts Doof as the enemy. Because deep down, she knows. She knows he's part of what's trying to pull her back to reality. And maybe she doesn't want to go. Maybe she'd rather live in the world she created, where Phineas still smiles, Ferb still builds, and Perry still fights the good fight. Because in that world, her brother never died. So is it true? Has this whole show been the creation of a grieving teenage girl trying to make sense of a tragedy? Was Phineas just a memory? Was Ferb just a quiet kid, imagined into something more? Was Dr. Doofenshmirtz really just a man trying to help? No one at Disney has ever confirmed this theory. But they haven't denied it either. Maybe it's all coincidence. Or maybe, just maybe, Phineas and Ferb is more than a cartoon. Maybe it's a story about loss, healing, and the power of imagination. And maybe Candace didn't just create a world for herself. Maybe she created one for all of us. Because sometimes, the best way to survive a broken world is to build a better one in your mind. And that's exactly what she did.